to this as we have to the top left side, our right Zerg player, we have got soO. This is a round of 12 matchup, remember. The winner of this plays Bunny, and we will cast the winner of this versus Bunny as our next series. As to the bottom right side, the blue Protoss player from Root Gaming, we have got MC. Okay. So best of 5 between soO and MC. We start on Thunderbird, which is this map that has all these mineral wall-offs in the center, to the sides. We've not really seen much use of these throughout the matches so far, I would say. But there's been a little bit of them here and a little bit of them there. As you do see those drones continue to mine away on this main base. Extractor drops down from soO as well, as we're going to see the Swan Pool dropping down also. And obviously early game was looking kind of regular until we see this forge. Now Nexus First is still kind of okay, you know, it's a bit of a larger map. You know, you've got to go like around like this rather than through the center initially because these mineral patches are here. Unless you bring a worker or two with the attack, I guess. But yeah, we see a Nexus First and he then follows up with a forge and a gateway. And he is going to throw a pylon down behind the mineral line, so MC trying to cause a little bit of trouble here at the moment. As that drone will continue to chase. Probe on the run at the moment. He wants to get out of there. The drone continue to chase down. A couple of drones already jumped on the pylon. Don't think he's going to commit to anything. But again, the forge is still definitely interesting, right? It's not what you usually see nowadays. MC kind of still trying to do things that he did back when he used to play in the past, right? Like Nexus First and the forge was the way you go, and I would not be surprised at all if he turns this build into a game where it's like, okay, I'm going to start a +1 attack, I'm going to start up, you know, other bits and pieces. And what MC's been doing generally in PvZ is a lot of Blink Stalkers with the attack upgrades, and really trying to make something happen out of that. So eyes open to see if that's going to be the case here, as we do see that probe going down. This pylon will be dealt with. I mean, it caused some lost mining time here from soO. You can see this little bit of a dip of favor into MC's side where soO had to pull drones. That's definitely nice, and obviously with the Nexus First, you have quite a lot of economy behind this as well. I mean, the biggest issue really is the Cyber Core is just so late, because you go Nexus, Forge, then the Gateway, then the Cyber Core. You know, usually you go Gate, Nexus, Core, and the Core comes up way faster than this, so a very late Warp Gate, but otherwise looking good. And Chrono Boost and a Stalker probably tells us this is not going to be a good time for this Overlord. Where on earth is the high ground for the Overlord here? I guess just over here. It's kind of a weird spot, and I think soO's caught a little bit. It's not weird, it's just I don't think soO was quite aware of the fact there was no high ground over here for him to hide on. As the Stalker will go and chase that Overlord down, try and pick up this kill. Some Firetail for 100 bits has got these bits on discount, and thanks for the content. Well, thank you so much for the 100 bits, I do appreciate it. Some love in the chat for Firetail, guys. Thank you so much. As we see the Stalker here, he's going to be able to pick off that Overlord, so Overlord goes down. And again, just going to see some probes, Chrono Boosting out at the moment, Sentry on the way out of the Gateway. As we see the extra Zerglings of soO coming through the center of the map here. Robo Facility is dropping down as well. That's going to be finishing up in the next few moments. The lair coming up in the main. All this looking very good so far as the Robo Facility finishes. And we see MC, well, might just go for a big old, I mean, Immortal first, right? So it's always the potential of being very aggressive when that Robo comes down before any other tech structure. And when you then Chrono Boost out an Immortal, it kind of feels like it's going to be very aggressive, right? Now, something MC did the other day as well in these groups was he was going for 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism and going for like an Immortal drop into like a bit of a different follow-up. And already here, double Stargate on the way down. I mean, Immortals into double Stargate is very strange, right? So, MC is doing MC things. He's kind of making up his own builds and kind of seeing how it goes. As we do see this Hallucinated Phoenix heading across to the upper left side. So Hallucinated Phoenix towards the upper left as we see the lair about to finish up from soO. The Rotoron going to be done in a few moments as well. Those couple of Stargates also about to complete. As we will see this Queen able to pick its way through this hallucination. So that hallucination goes down. And again, just these few Zerglings running over the right side. Is Rushy SC, my man, coming in with the 10-month resub. Thank you so much for the 10 months. How you doing? Appreciate the continued support, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So great to see so many of you just tuning in general, by the way, as the Fast Hydrogen comes up from soO. 1,500 viewers for this is the most viewers we've had all week long, so good to see you guys. thanks so much for dropping by, tuning in, and yeah, good to see you all. Good to see you all, as we do have the couple of oracles on the way up from these stargates. They're about to complete then, as again the Groove Spines coming up from soO as well. Overseer take a little bit of damage, Stalker and Sentry. Got some good shots, the Changeling here going to get picked off as well. Overseer getting chased all the way down. It comes all the way through the main base. Oh my god, the Stalker's dancing around, finally gets it. Big scout, because he sees not just the double Stargate, but the fact it's double Oracle as well, which is pretty funky. The Queen is going to come in as a response to the Immortal drop. And Queen's on Armor, so Immortal's going to do that much against him. There's no Transfuse though. Oh, the War Prism's going to die. Hydra's coming in as well. I mean, that was just not good from MC at all, right? Like, there's only so much you can say about certain things, and that was definitely not a good one. I mean, losing the Prism, loses the 2 Immortals, and MC is off to a bit of a rough start here on Thunderbird by RQM. Not the greatest of setups for him, as we see these few Oracles hanging out on the right side. Well, I wonder what the Oracles will get done now, because it feels like maybe the Immortals were meant to deal some damage, pull units out of position, and the Oracles were able to strike elsewhere while there wasn't Queens around, etc. Now it kind of just feels like you've got 4 Oracles that are up against a lot of Queens, up against a bunch of Spore Crawlers. I mean, there's a Spore on each base at least already. So I don't really know what you kind of go into here, actually. It feels a little bit rough for MC right now, as he wants to throw down Revelation. Those Hydras, keep track of this. He's going to opt for the Resonating Glaives. The Resonating Glaives will give him a little bit of a better time against Ling Hydra. Obviously, both of those units are light units, so the Adepts do bonus damage anyways, and the Glaives then helps them attack faster. But he is going to be missing out on kind of straight up splash damage, right? He doesn't go Templar Archives. Okay, he gets a Disruptor. Okay, that's one way that you can maybe make this work. But he's going to be missing out on Storm. He's going to be missing out on Archons. And the splash damage is oftentimes as well one of the main ways you can get rid of this Ling Hydra army. See, just still sat up on the ramp. And there's Lings and Hydras coming over to the left. Remember, you can't attack into this third base because of these mineral patches. So you're pretty limited in terms of how you can attack here as soO. I just really feel that without splash damage, pushing up the ramp isn't super terrible for him. Obviously, Disruptor Shot may change that. Wow, only one Hydra. Good split by soO, although the Force Field's very good by MC to be able to pick away at a couple of Hydras already. A lot of these being sectioned off and not able to really take part in the fight. However, out of Force Field energy, these Hydras are going to make their way up here. Gets the Overseer, sends a couple of units forwards to pick up some of these Stasis Wards. Well, there's just not enough units so far. There's the next Disruptor Shot coming in, and soO loses another couple of Hydras. He's going to get cleaned up here. But the damage he's dealt is going to be pretty cool, as you're going to see him getting rid of a couple of Oracles. He's going to get rid of that Disruptor. And you don't think you can deny that soO has traded well. 5.4 to 5k minerals, but he's got a lot of mining as well, right? Going up to a 4th base as MC gets a few units caught. The Immortals, of course, are super expensive and very difficult to replace, especially after you lost 2 earlier. So soO has continued to trade very well here. There's one Colossus. It's also very good, and I think soO's just saying, well, I'm probably going to lose these Hydras anyways. Decides to back away, but the Adepts are shading, so they should be able to kill them, although they missed their shade a little bit, and the Hydras were able to sneak off to the other side. Hey, so much, by the way, Dank Shrine as well, my man Toast with the 17 months. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you indeed, as the other Hydras coming in, and again, those Adepts don't want to get pushed away. Bye-bye. See you guys later. Couple Colossus continue to pop out from MC. And we do see the Hydralisks from soO just coming back into the middle of the map. So Hydras from soO coming back in towards the center. Spire on the way up from soO as well. So getting that started up right now as we see double Warp Prism build. And he actually contaminates this one. So slows down the Robo production a little bit. I wonder if he does want double Prism or if it's just because he wants the Prism fast. Yeah, he cancels the Prism on the other Robo, so doesn't really make sense to get double Prism right now, because you don't really need Prisms in 2 locations with the army comp that MC's playing, I don't think. Slash, I don't think you can really get much up anyways. I guess you're only really going to warp in Adepts. One Prism kind of feels like he just wants to go for an attack and push across, although I say that when Blinken +2 are just starting up. Probably not quite the case, actually. So Dovenwolf of the Twitch Prime sub as well for the 20-month resub. Give us some hype in the chat for Dovenwolf. Huge amount of support. And a lot of mums on top. Thanks so much, we'd appreciate. Well, MC does have the army pushing forwards, and he can push up in towards this 4th base soon in the next moment or so. 12 Corruptors on the way out, 10 Roaches coming in as well. Here we go, extra Stalkers starting to warp in as the Blink and +2. Just about halfway done, so it's not really ready yet, as it kind of just feels like it's such a good concave. Crypto's coming forward to start getting some damage onto the Colossus. Let's be careful with those force fields, etc., but it looks like, well, the Corruptors are going to stay on the Colossus, and we're just going to see the Hydras brute forcing their way up the ramp to fight this. Not pretty. The Colossus actually get quite a lot of damage done. It's not like Corruptors are taking them down in one shot. Eventually, it's going to be MC just being cleaned out. I mean, you got to remember, this game just went from bad to worse for him. With the initial 2 Immortals lost, already he's not able to apply as much pressure. He doesn't have as much available for the defense at home. And so soO just attacks across, is able to do a lot of damage there. That's a blundered Blink as well, and a couple of units. It's just, it really has, I think, just gone from bad to worse for MC. And I think something like losing the 2 Immortals early game is something that a player like soO will just take and say, well, I don't lose the game from here, because you just can't afford to lose 2 Immortals like that, you know? Like, that's just not how StarCraft 2 works in PvZ. It really just doesn't work like that at all, as you see these Stalkers being picked away at. And they're all still under fire here. A couple of them in the front taking quite a lot of hits. Yeah, I mean, there's just too much. We also have the Corruptors that moved over to the third base, and they're going to caustic spray that down. There's no defense available. There's a few extra units just streaming in to help out those Hydras. The Immortals go down especially. There's not much of a follow-up. Warped in Zealots will not last long either. They've taken too much damage on the intro to this. And MC types out GG for being resolved. And let's jump into the second game. As to the bottom left-hand side, our Red Zerg player from Chivo Esports, it's soO. And from Root Gaming, our blue Protoss is MC. Yes, he is the MC of old. He's the MC you know from all those years back. And it's very exciting to have him playing out here, playing here once again today. As we get this started up and look to see what game 2 will bring us. I mean, that Nexus first into the Forge in the last game was already very interesting, a very unique way of going about things. We do see this gateway dropping down at the front, so MC getting that gateway set up, Overlord moving through the middle of the map. And we do just see the hatchery, the drone, and these couple of things getting set up to roll. So Lots of Vision has these minerals you can mine out to get over here. You've got a low ground rich Vespene geyser base as well, which generally looks to be towards the 4th. MC moves over here. I think he was just checking how many minerals does it cost to take that. Maybe just wanted to check there was no kind of crazy proxy hatch or anything either. Just in case, although he has a wall at the front, so he wouldn't have missed anything, I don't think. As we are going to see the Sled Core placed down at the front as well. Simon Ice coming in, and MC will start to mine away at these mineral patches over here. So, working his way through this, just slowly giving himself access to what I think is the better third base for a Protoss player. Now, this base over here, it just feels like the Zerg will get up this ramp or this ramp, right? Like, that's the issue. The Zerg can rotate here or go here, and then you're in between the bases. So, I think this is the better third. Because then you just sort of sit in the middle and it's like, boom, boom, I'm in position wherever I need to be. You can take a pocket 4th base, and it actually works out quite nicely. In fact, when you mine out of this base, or mine this out, it actually kind of looks like King's Cove in the sense that you've got like a high ground, natural 3rd, and a 4th in front of them. The only difference is the high ground it's not like a ramp up into the natural, it's a ramp up into flat ground into the nat, so that's worth keeping in mind here. We do have the Adapt shading down to the bottom left, Stargate building up here from MC. Just as we have the early game, I'll just explain. A few people ask in the chat. This is the Team Liquid map contest, and this is the tournament phase. The Team Liquid map contest is the contest that Blizzard and Team Liquid run twice a year to try and judge whether, what maps should be brought into the ladder map pool. And about 150 plus maps get submitted by map makers. They get judged by pro players and other map makers alike, and they do come down to the finalists, which is the final 16, which means if your map gets to the final 16, I think you already win $100 prize money as well. And yeah, then you're in the round of 60, the top 16. The top 16 maps get played in the Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament, which is this tournament here, before going through an iteration phase where map makers can make some changes based on what they saw in the tournament, and then they can submit final versions, which then people can vote on, the judges vote on as well, and we have a TLMC winner, and there's more prize money to be had for the top 5 maps. And then these maps then get considered for the ladder as well. Maps such as, I think pretty much the entire map pool was, right now, comes from the TLMC a couple TLMCs ago. Automaton, for example, definitely was the winner of the last TLMC, actually. What else is in the current map pool? Year Zero was the second place finisher in the last TLMC as well. So, you know, these maps are all coming in from the TLMC. And yeah, cool to see them being used. So it's a cool little system that we've got set up. As we do see a couple of lings going down. Yeah, this is 55 minerals here, so it does. You can already see MC with long distance mine has opened up this pathway, and he's already moving over to take the third base. That actually works out quite nicely. So third nexus will be taken. Now, talking about the TLMC, I haven't talked much about the actual open here. It's an Oracle into a Void Ray. The Void Ray, a bit of a different way to start cleaning up some of these overlords. I remember seeing Mana open Void Ray a lot of the time in PvZ, and I was always like, well, what does the Void Ray really kind of add into you or give to you? It's definitely interesting as we see that third nexus dropping in here. Forge, Robo Facility on the way up from MC as well. And again, that Void Ray coming through, dealing some good damage to those Zerglings. Couple more Voids on the way up. It's double Stargate, so MC playing a bit of a different style here. Now we see soO as well. Obviously we haven't talked much about his expansion plan, but he's decided to expand upwards. So instead of breaking through these minerals into this base, he's just expanding up the map, and he probably will be happy to continue up there for a while, maybe even down to this base very shortly. Depends on how much pressure he feels he's under here on Loss Aversion. I already kind of feel this game's had a little bit macro focused, and I don't think we've really seen a macro focused game on this map so far, so I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to turn out in the end. Going to see soO going to get pushed away with that Overseer, so Void Ray picking up the kill there. More Zerglings hanging out in the center of the map. The Oracle of MC going to head up to the upper right hand side. Picked up a couple kills here and there. And some Lingers going to try and break through the natural, but the first step is going to be backed up by a second. And this is going to be, oh, the second step's not in position, so actually soO is going to break in. A couple of Lings will jump onto the natural mineral line, and he will get one probe already. And the main base, the probes will just pull into fight, and the Lings actually derp around a little bit, so a few workers lost. Not the end of the world, right? And just a little unfortunate that Adept behind was not quite able to get into position there. We're going to see a few probes picked away at this Oracle. Going to start heading across the map again as well. Dropping down Revelations, actually just revealing a little bit of the crew spread as the Hallucinated Phoenix flies over. We are just going to be seeing those Hydras have come out from soO. He's been pretty determined to continue going into pretty fast Hydras here. As we now do have the Hive on the way up. So Hive coming into play. So that's just coming up right now. Again, creep spreading all around the map at the moment as we do have those units still up in the skies. Slowly just mining out these minerals as well to give them a bit better access between the bases. +2 attack coming in on the Forge. And just going to be seeing again this army of MC starting to look pretty good. I mean, he's got the voice raise up from earlier. It's just so MC. Like, he's playing his completely own style. Like, he's come back to StarCraft and he's just like, okay, I understand there's a meta game, but this is how I want to play. And I'm going to make my own style, and I'm going to make it work. Void Rays with a Disruptor mixed in, a lot of Stalkers rather than typical Charge Lot Immortal Archon. And it's unique, it's different. Now, soO gets a Viper up, Adrenal Glands on the way, that Hive already been in play, already given him access to so many things, and it is such a fast Hive here to play with. As we are going to see those Hydras just picking their way through these rocks. MC have quite a large attack. Starting to come over to this left-hand side, so Stalker's Void, Disruptor mixed in here as well. Double sentries in the Immortal. All of this pushing down on the left-hand side here through these troop tumors. Well, again, the Queens and the Hydras going to start pressing forwards to try and take a bit of a fight here. So, here you go. Stalker's coming straight through, and, well, immediately you're going to see these units able to jump on top of this Disruptor shot. Not quite going to land. And the Void were hit by the Parasitic Bomb up in the skies. That's about it for the moment, as MC just going to be trying to press forwards. Still trying to see what's up. A few Banes waddling in. Doesn't even have Bane speed yet. Stalker's blinking back against it. Immortal in the front just hanging out. The Disruptor hanging back. Its Purification Nova is back and ready to be used once more. Su's fourth base. He is mining this Vespene Geyser, and it is again 8 gas per trip with that Vespene, which is quite nice. Ooh, I mean, the Disruptor hits a couple of Banes, but then it also blows up a couple of Stalkers. And obviously you're just kind of missing that typical sort of way of dealing with the Banes, which is Immortals and Archons to tank them, and you know, also just then the Stormers to kind of take them down too. Another nice Blinding Cloud forces the Stalkers to run forwards. And so soO's response to this style of MC so far seems pretty good. The Hydras are holding on nicely, the Vipers are a good addition. And, well, now it's kind of just mass Stalkers. He actually blinks in on top of this, but the Zerglings arrive just after the blink. Oh, what a time for Lings to show up when you can't blink back. I mean, now he's going to start blinking back, but the extra Hydras are coming out, and obviously the Lings in front are acting as a wall of tanking damage. Vipers still around here, may lose them now because they're a little bit exposed, and soO did not pull them away. The Immortal wandering forward through the Blinding Cloud as well. Those Blinding Clouds, so painful as MC continues to attack in towards the third hatchery. Hydras on the bottom, picking their way through Stalkers here. Stalkers having to pull away just a little bit. I'm just going to be seeing more Hydras, Queens on the way up. Hatchery gets taken down. More Stalkers warping in again from MC, blinking all the way back as the Hydras keep pressing forwards. Going to be seeing that Zealot finishing warping in at the front. Stalker's still blinking around, and well, the Hydra force is being withered down here. There's not much left, although I assume reinforcements will be about to show up, as obviously the Stalkers are so battered and bruised as well. All of them are in red and orange health, apart from a couple of fresh warping in. Obviously they have their shields regenerating. This base did go down then, so it's down to 3 bases from soO. He has that base over to the right side to help him out. Hydra's Den going to be picked off here. Infestation Pit goes down as well. I'm just going to see those Stalkers blinking back a little bit as the Zealots going to be able to press forwards here with this. So here we go. Stalkers and Zealots pushing in towards, well, Hydras, Queens, all sorts right now. A little bit of damage so far. The Zealots here having to continue running away as the Lings go down. I mean, the issue is I feel like if soO gets back into a bit more of this army, this ends up okay for him. He actually takes this base over here now because he's got this base, so he kind of has the ramp up into it. So soO's going to end up on 4 bases again. MC still only on 3 bases back at home. Is yet to show us a 4th base. Just as I talk about it, there it is coming down. I think that's a sign that he's kind of realizing that this attack is done. He's not going to be able to do much more with it. And soO can finally sit back and breathe for a moment, because this was absolutely chaotic, right? This was absolutely crazy for a good portion of the game. That's going to slow down a little bit, so soO has a chance to sort of set his economy right, get a couple of things set up here once again. And we're just going to be seeing soO. Obviously lost again his tech structures as well, so he's actually lost his Hydrogen, he's lost his Infestation Bit, so he can only make Ling Bane at the moment. There's the Warp Prism coming into play. It's the first time we've seen the Prism harassing around. And it's going to head in towards the main base as MC also hits this bottom side 5th. I think as soO you just don't fight this because there's so many Stalkers. I think you just cancel and say, okay, well, I just got this base. There's at least one new base to work with. And I'll just go with that for now. Because again, you got to remember too that MC is barely on a great, he's hardly on a great economy either. His own 4th base isn't even finished still. So I think soO can still just be happy where he is. Remember that the 4th base he just took is also going to be a bit fresher than this 4th base over here because, well, that one died. And it's been mined from for a while. So it's a little bit of a benefit as pressing forward. Still trying to take some fights. Lings and Banes leading the charge in. Grabs a surround on the Immortal. So Immortal will go down. And then those Stalkers just continue to be chased away. Now just continue to press up the right side of this here. I was going to see the Ling is going down. The Bane gets picked off. A couple extra High Templar and Zealots warping in as well. And MC just still sat waiting for his opponent to attack on into him. Lings and Hydras setting up to push through this. The side block is kind of interesting as well. Obviously, you can't see the other side of it without high ground vision. So it creates a bit of an awkward, like, do I want to attack through here? Well, yes, you do this time around. Storm is done. The High Templars dropping those first couple of storms, but the Lings are mostly through. And all of a sudden, the High Templar are dead after only 2 storms. Oh my god, the Destructor dies just before he gets a huge shot off into the center of the army. And soO is now chasing down Zealots and Stalkers. And again, there's just no tech structures or tech units here in this army of MC. soO built up a Greater Spire and an Ultra's Cabin. Still doesn't have a Hydrogen to rebuild any Hydras. So if MC was able to get rid of this, he might do okay just fighting against Ling Bane. But he can't get rid of this. The Hydras are so well protected. They're not going down. And soO is making a fantastic set of holds so far as some more storms dropping. The Hydras having to be careful, backing away. Another couple of Baneling connections going off. The Archon gets picked up here. And again, the Hydras just press straight on through. Zealots are dropping quickly. The Stalkers don't really have enough damage output to say anything about this either. The Mortal will go down. And this is a complete cleanup from soO. GG from MC. soO picks up the second game. As we go on to Black Baroque, we have to the top left side the red Zerg player. This is soO. Leading this 2-0, and to the bottom right, our blue Protoss MC. Remember, the winner of this will advance through to play against Bunny, and that will be our next series up. So we'll do the winner of this versus Bunny, then we're going to be casting the Zest versus True, and Impact versus Keen. So that's what's happening here today. Again, hope you guys are having a good time. Hope you guys are enjoying the games. Thank you so much, Heracula, for the 14-month streak resub. Thank you so much. Do appreciate getting some hype in the chat for that one as well. Some love. Thank you so much for supporting the stream, of course. Again, I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Thank you so much for, again, great viewership too. Approaching 2,000 viewers almost. It's awesome. We've not really had 2K viewers this month, so good to see some hype coming in, and good to see you guys enjoying the TLMC tournament. Remember, tomorrow will be the playoffs as well, the day 2, the final day of action. So keep your eyes out for that tomorrow. Starts at midday CET, same as today is the plan. Should be good. Should be awesome, actually. Should be really, really good. As we do see Cybercore dropping down here. Black Baroque players are still... I still question if the players have figured out how to wall here. I mean, I feel like a gateway here might get it done properly this time around. Very large map, macro map by his whack, and he was the maker of Lost and Found and Parasite. Definitely a map to definitely a map maker who's had a lot of influence on the recent map pools. So excited to see him coming out with a couple of another couple of maps here in this TLMC. As you see that probe just moving out in towards the middle, has already been scouting around a little bit, and will generally still stay on the map though until we see the Adept coming over to replace that probe for scouting information. So it's going to be having the Adept coming over then, again looking to swap over with that probe in terms of duties. And speed starting up in the main base as the Robo facility drops down from MC. Over on the bottom right hand side as well. Overlord scouting around. And the Stalker is coming out. So in the Robo facility will be seen. Stalker initially obviously is a good indicator it's not a Stargate anyways. And you see Twilight Council as a follow up too. Still not completing this wall off just yet though, MC, and that's a little bit risky in case soO was looking to make a few Lings and flood through or so on, but obviously MC is comfortable with what he's seen so far. And is kind of content that it's not going to be a big attack that's going to ruin his days. So he's not going to finish the wall just yet. We'll drop the gateway down now and then drops the pylon behind it. And yeah, there's just a little gap there. I think this Cybercore just needed to come down 1 pixel maybe. Or maybe the pylon needs to go like 1 hex back. Then the gateway comes down by 1. And then you have gate, Cybercore, gate, gap here. I think that works. Or gate, Cybercore, gate, and then the gap here still. But if you just move this gateway down like here, right, then the Cybercore comes down by 1, and then this gateway comes down by 1 as well. And it means that you don't have to, but this gateway needs to go up by 1, so then it has this gap still, but you don't have this gap. So it's, these guys will learn how to wall this map eventually, slowly, surely. It's going to be seeing the Roach Roan on the way down from soO. So a little bit different. We don't really see soO play Roaches so far. But it's actually a good time too, because MC dropping the charge is going to probably pull out of gas here, and he's still building. He's got 2 immortals, so it's not like a complete just charge lot all in, but he could pull out of gas and just get as many charge lots as possible after the 2 immortals. We shall see. No gases obviously is a pretty big telltale sign. And soO doesn't have an overlord on this high ground here to maybe watch for that gas not being taken, as we see these 5 gateways on the way behind the mineral line. So the Warp Prism heading up to the top. There's a couple of mortals dropping down, picking off the Zergling. So Zergling gets picked off there, as we're going to be seeing the Ling of soO. Going to start heading towards the upper left-hand side. 5 more roaches on the way out. The Queen's gathering together as well. I'm just going to see those immortals getting a good little bit of damage done and picking away at that Queen. Six extra zealots warping in as more Zerglings on the way out. A couple of spine crawlers coming in here from soO as well. So again, that's set up and ready to go as you see the couple of immortals loaded up into the Warp Prism. Zealots will go charging forwards, and the Zerglings here fighting away. Now they're going to get a pretty good surround. Those zealots going to drop pretty easily at the end of the day. Not much done by MC's initial attack, which is concerning because he's only just now taking his natural gases. These are about 2 minutes, 3 minutes late from when they should be coming down. Sorry, 2 minutes, definitely 2 minutes late. The 2 minutes late from when they should be coming down, and that sort of tells you, like, he was definitely hoping this attack would do more. Now he sort of starts up an Immortal, a couple of sentries, gets the Templar Archive started as well. As we have the Warp Prism going to be moving around in the center of the map. So MC coming through the middle and is going to have a couple of mortals to drop down and do a little bit of damage. So WikiLeaks83 coming in with the fresh, with the 6-month resub. Half a year on that one. Thank you so much, WikiLeaks. How you doing? And thank you for continuing to support. Warp Prism pulling back down to the bottom of the map. Roach speed is about halfway done here at the moment, so roach speed about halfway done. A few Lings actually going to jump up in towards the main base, gathering up with some of these roaches. So these units just getting gathered too, as we'll see the Spine Crawler going to be dropping down as well. So Spine Crawler drops into position on the main base. Robobay getting started too. And it's just MC, right? He builds a Robobay, builds an Immortal, then likes to go into Colossus. Builds a Disruptor, then likes to go into just Colossus. Let's see what happens there. What's up, Raijin Saint? He comes in with the 4 months on Twitch Prime. Says, what? 4 months? Thanks for all the awesome content and for all you do for the community. Definitely the best community caster. Thank you so much for the kind words and for the 4 month on the resub. Do appreciate. Warp Prism speed even coming up right now. How intriguing. He's actually built a Robobay for Warp Prism speed. Does he actually do anything else with this? Surely he does. Surely he doesn't just build Warp Prism speed and he's like, yeah, that's all I needed. Right? Prism loads up a few more zealots and going to be coming up towards the upper left-hand side. There's some Lings wanting to run in and jump on top of these Immortals and Sentries. The High Templar too in a bit of trouble here. Cross of Val's going to break down the force field wall and all of a sudden soO launching this attack with Roaches and Ravagers. Zealots going down. There's enough Immortals still alive though, and I think they will be able to survive against those Roaches without too much of an issue. This looks as though they will still be good. As you have the 4th hatchery from soO setting up on the top side of the map. Again, these Immortals just hanging out over here. Some Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers trying to press in at the front as well. You can see an Immortal getting picked off. Good storms though, good defense from MC. And at the same time, sent out the Prism onto the map as well. I mean, MC's playing a bit more of a traditional army this time. Apart from the Warp Prism speed that kind of caught me a bit off guard. It's much more traditional with the Immortals, the Archons, Storms as well, of course. soO going to switch it up with a bit of a Mutalisk play. So soO going to come in with the Mutas right now, change this up a little bit. And we'll see the Lings, the Roaches, and the Ravagers heading up to the upper left side. Prism unloading and picking away at a few of these bits and pieces, getting rid of this Spire, for example. And he's going to continue running over and picking up those Zealots as well. So a lot of Zealots being cleaned out. Muta's going to jump on that Prism in the next few moments. Now, the Mutas came in at a great time here. On the plus side for MC, at least the Prism sees the Mutalisks, so he knows the Mutas are coming in. He can prepare for them. But the Mutas are also very strong against MC's style of play, because MC is so reluctant to build a Stargate. And if you don't have a Stargate, then you're in a really, really tough position, because you can't just start building Phoenix against this. Now, that said, MC's usual style has a lot of Stalkers involved, and you know, Blink already done, etc. That's not the case here at all, though. Without any Stalkers and so on, and Blink not done, those Mutas have a good opportunity to maybe do a little bit more. So you see those Mutas coming back around all the way over to the left. Still just looking for a base to jump into here. Storm drops down on the Mutas. And the Mutas having to back away here just for a second. So not finding openings, but obviously behind it a switch coming up. Balin speed +2 melee, and the Hydra's Den all starting out. As again, MC just sits back defensively and waiting. Waiting to see what does come up here next. A couple more High Templar getting warped in. Going to morph into an Archon. Mutas fly through, going to find 1 and 2 sentries. So the Storm drops down. Mutas taking some damage. Probe's taking a little bit more, a few more shots as well. Stalker's coming down to the bottom again. Archons are here. Oh, big shot! Mutas in trouble. These Mutas really haven't done anything, although they do find a High Templar on the exit. That's a shame, because if that had stormed, it probably would have picked up some kills. And the Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers cleaning up these rocks here in the center. A few more Banelings morphing in on the right-hand side. Groove Spines on the way up. Hive building up as well. And we are going to be seeing this army of MC still pressing up to the top left-hand side. So MC going for a bit of an attack here. Can soO hold on after committing to Mutas that didn't do enough, I would say? And soO is still maxed out. Oh, he's going to be fighting on Cooper, which is a good start as well. The Banes are going to bypass the Storms. I mean, the Storms just miss. And so the Banelings just go straight into the Stalkers. A fantastic engagement there. Well, extra Stalkers warping in. Corrosive Bowels on the Warp Prism will get the kill, although the warp in did finish up. There's only going to be a couple of Archons left as they go down. It's only Stalkers. I feel like we've seen this situation before, as MC is not going to have anything left. I mean, he's going to get rid of these Ravagers, but then reinforcements. 54 Lings and 23 Hydralisks. So he's going to have way too much here in MC. Man, what happened? Those Storms just missed those Banes. If those Banes go down, so many more Stalkers survive. If a lot more Stalkers survive, the fight obviously becomes a bit of a different situation, where maybe you can actually hold on a lot better. And I mean, he cleaned up, right? So imagine he cleans up a bit more effectively. That would have been pretty sick, as we see extra Banelings wolfing in. Lings, Banes, and Hyde just continue to attack down to the bottom side of the map. Lings coming in, and we are going to be seeing these Zealots and Stalkers going to continue being fought against. This Lings coming around the bottom side. Going to wrap around here. The High Templar getting picked off. Has to open an Archon. soO's going to close it out. GG's, and he